Hello, my name is Kiana KJ Rose Henson. I am an author of The Rose Effect, a motivational leadership speaker, and a global artist development and performance director. And you are tuned in to According to Portia.
She is the powerhouse force behind the biggest names in music, coaching legends like Nas, LL Cool J, and Lil Nas X. She's rocked the stage with icons like country music star Brittany Spencer and Janet Jackson. And now she's here to drop gems on confidence, secrets to performing on culture's biggest stages, and what it really means to take and own your own stage. Y'all, get ready for a masterclass in presence, power, and purpose. Welcome to the show, KJ Rose.
Well, Mr. Hype yourself up.
Okay? Listen. Yes, absolutely. Y'all know what it took to get there. I probably owe KJ a check, and I'm being real. Okay. But welcome to the show, KJ.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I appreciate who you are as a coach, as a person all around. You really do inspire me. And I'm getting chills and I don't want to tear up, but you really do. And so if I did not take the chance to say thank you before, I'm saying thank you now.
Oh.
Tears. Okay.
Is that how we gonna start this thing?
That just mean I mean it. Okay.
Listen. No, I'm joking. I see that. And it just lets me know that, every single challenge, every single victory, every single person I touch, I'm assigned to is not in vain, that it definitely is with purpose. So thank you for that reminder.
Thank you. And I promise you, I probably owe you a check. If you would have sent me an invoice back when, baby, okay, I would have paid that invoice.
It's too late. Okay.
It's too late now. But I do want to get started with your origin story, right? How did you create your own lane and chart your own unique path in performance coaching?
I could say that I had this brilliant idea of becoming this performance director very early on, but I feel like I moved according to my internal kind of metric that said, this is what you want to do. This is how you believe that God wants to move you in it. And if you don't see it, then just continue to do it, become it, be it in every way possible. And then it will actually create itself, right? Mm-hmm. So I believe that as a singer, that was such a blessing and such a navigational tool for building my own confidence, whether it was, behind Janet Jackson or Carl Thomas or Britney Spears or Justin Timberlake or Ashanti or Monica. I was always learning something. I always knew that I had a purpose beyond that 20 feet from stardom, but I had to build kind of like an impenetrable amount of belief in it, because when you don't have that level of confidence to empower yourself, it allows other forces that were never meant to kind of be part of your journey to penetrate you and to make you feel like maybe this isn't something you should be doing. So I had to do the work first of building my own level of what's the word I'm looking for, beyond confidence. It's beyond belief. It's really just owning that you were qualified, that God qualified you. That's a different level of knowing. That's what I wanted to reach and attain.
Yeah, because he doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the call.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah. I love it. Now, we've heard you say some of the biggest names in entertainment and music: Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Carl Thomas, Justin Timberlake. You've worked with them all, right? Hip hop pioneer Nas, right? That's on your social right now at the top. Okay. What exactly is it that you do with them as a performance coach? Can you walk us through that and describe what that looks like for us?
Yes. Let me give you the top line items. Okay, I can't be revealing all the secrets.
Don't reveal all the
But
secrets. You'll have to send some invoices.
I would say that for legacy artists, artists that have put over 20, 30 years of points on the board, I always akin it to, you walking into a salon or a barbershop and saying, I don't want to change the length of my hair. I don't want to change the shape. I just want to add volume. I want to add layers. I want to add dimension so that you can feel refreshed. And for those artists like LL and Nas, I believe I was appointed to help them kind of reframe the narrative for songs that they have been singing for a really long time. And I think you can kind of become a little disconnected from your music at times when you've done it for so many years. It becomes routine. And I am there to just recharge them in a sense to remember the origin of these songs and how we will watch you in concert tell a story that one mic can't tell with If I Rule the World, right? Each of those require their own level of storyline, of emphasis, of inflection, and you're the only messenger we have. So that is my purpose, to remind them that they are the only messenger for the songs that they've written over the years, and they are the only messenger to deliver to the audience the message as well. So yeah, I love it. I completely am always taken aback when I meet an artist who is just like, I'm not satisfied. That could be artists that could be very satisfied with the points they've already put on the board, with the things they've already delivered to the culture and to music, but they're like, I want to keep going higher. That inspires me, because they could very well be like, oh, I've done it. I'm doing it this way because it's working. But they're like, how do I unlock the next level of potential? And my job is to help identify that and to animate that in real time.
I love it. Now, let's talk about one of those artists that could be satisfied, but is not, right? So, voice is so melodic. She's beautiful inside and out. Country music artist, Brittany Spencer. You performed with her on stage, and I mean, I saw the performance. It was KJ energy, and I could tell it was your choreography. Everyone looked amazing. What was that experience like?
Well, working with Brittany Spencer and her team at Activist Artist Caitlin, and there's an energy that they want to see her win. And that is the foundation she stands on. But in addition to that, she has a fervor to seeing herself win.
Yeah.
And that means uncharted territory for her to say, you know what, I know where I want to go. I'm not sure how to get there. Can you help me in that? And so that opportunity to sing with her on Nashville's New Year's Eve bash came. I've been her performance director in the past, but then it came with the additional piece of, we want to bring her friends on stage. Can you just give them life and give them energy? And so I was like, okay, you got it. All right, we want to release some confetti. Then that became the creative director. All right, what do you think about getting on stage with us? And I can't tell you the last time I have actually been on stage of that magnitude. But I am just glad that God uses all of my gifts to fully activate, right? To leave nothing behind. And it was a reminder to me that I don't have to silo myself, that I can also access every piece of armor that God gave me in every chamber that
yeah. Now, speaking of armor, you're known as the artist whisperer. What is the most common block and or fear that artists face before a performance, and how do you help them push past it?
I believe the most common block is thinking that the performance begins externally, right? So while it is about bringing something to the audience, making them feel inspired, making them feel included, you first have to do that by unlocking the unresolved pieces of your own story. The audience can tell whether they're watching you in process, whether they are watching you as a healed person, but whatever it is, they just want you to be sincere about it.
Yeah.
So the moment that you can fully like dive into a level of internal synchronicity, that is what your audience is awaiting. Right. So I think it becomes, what is the audience going to think of this song? How am I going to do this note? What is how is this going to be perceived? And it's really the amount of time you spend in the studio and putting reps on the board before you get to the audience that can help to somewhat cause those levels of fear and nerves to dissipate. Now, as someone who had stage fright, I do know that some level of nerves will exist because of the excitement, because of, you're on an assignment and you really are just determined to make sure that the people are changed by what you do, that they're transformed.
Yeah.
And so sometimes nerves still exist, but we want them to actually serve you as opposed to debilitate you.
Absolutely.
So it's the reps that you put on the board. I think if you've not got enough in the tank, enough victories to say, oh, I know what this looks like. I know what this feels like. Let me just pull from here, as opposed to getting on stage, for the first time kind of in this new environment. And you've not put enough time figuring out how to pull inspiration from every venue, from every room that you're in. Then it causes for a different type of approach and performance. And so I always say you can't wait to access the energy in the room.
Yeah.
Right? Not their responsibility. The onus is not on the audience to,
Mm-hmm.
just be there awaiting you with this level of energy, right? Because maybe they're holding on to something that you might bring. So you've got to make sure that you do all you can to bring that energy on your own.
Yeah. And you coach people so well. I know at the beginning of the show, I didn't necessarily give any context to why I might owe you or you might owe me an invoice and why I need to pay.
Lord, give me all.
But we worked together on a project several years ago during COVID. It may have been passing by this time that we worked on a project. And I didn't have enough wins, right? I didn't have enough of what you were just referring to. And so I didn't have anywhere to pull from. But my good sister, KJ Rose, she was so patient. She was so kind. She was so gracious, y'all. She really was. And she walked me through it step by step. So I understand what it is that you're talking about literally. And I can see it in especially how you pull out the performances with mega stars, right? So what you pulled out of me, I still was like, I need some more wins before I can perform, right?
Amen.
But I just want to thank you for that. And I want to get into your book because you gifted me a book. And baby, when I tell you I read that book on the plane, I read the book the same weekend that you gave it to me on the plane back to Detroit. And it blessed me so much. And the name of your book is The Rose Effect, 8 Steps to Delivering the Performance of Your Life.
Yes.
It was so powerful, y'all. It was so spot on. The stories that she told was everything. Okay, that's your yes.
So here's the thing. I literally just sold the last one. And so I know, but that's all right. We're gonna get some more. But let me see if you can see that. Let's see.
Little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we'll put a picture of it up.
Okay, yes. Okay, we'll put it. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna send you this picture too while we're here. Okay, keep going.
Again, and I keep saying it. I know y'all like, why she keeps saying she owe her a check? Because I probably do. She's so gracious enough to not send me an invoice. Because if you would have sent the invoice, I would have no choice. I would have had no choice but to pay it. But going back to the book, what can people expect to take away after reading it?
Well, the book really was my own approach to therapy, of really reconciling a lot of life choices,
Mhm.
a lot of the challenges, the victories, the experiences, because I think until you fully resolve them, and put them properly in your life, in your heart, they can either weigh you down or they can get you in flight. And I think I was at an impasse of being weighed and also needing to move forward and not be held hostage kind of by, past disappointments, but prepare myself for the victories ahead. And
Mhm.
so I share a lot of my lessons, as someone that matriculated through the music industry
Mhm.
and just life,
Yeah.
we've all had those. And I just felt like I did not want anyone to have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
It probably took me about 10 years to fully believe that I
Mhm.
was capable of
Mhm.
everything that God put inside of me. And I
Mhm.
don't want it to take nobody else that long.
Mhm. Mhm.
So while it was definitely self gratifying, I pray that it adds value to someone else as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. It absolutely does. Now, what was one of the biggest lessons that you learned while writing and or after the book came out?
A couple of things
Mhm.
I learned that you must recover quicker what you perceive as a disappointment
Mhm.
because you will miss the moment
Mhm.
that is awaiting you, right? If you lament too long, say that they don't deserve its time
Space.
of mourning, for lack of a better word.
Wallowing. Mhm.
But if you stay in it, and God has new things waiting, right? Because most times the closed doors are either because you're thinking it was too small,
Mhm.
or preparation needs to be done,
Mhm.
or it is just not where God has you in that moment, right? And so no matter what it is, you can win that follows that,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
if you lament for so long and just kind of like the self pity, then you could miss that next moment.
Yeah.
That's one. The second one um, is that I am blessed to be assigned to many different people, many types of people, whether it's the executive, the artist, um, because I declare that we're all artists. Wherever you occupy the most space, that is your stage. And so, as an artist, your gift cannot be duplicated. It is very specific to your unique skill sets. And so I am blessed to be in a lot of rooms that have changed my trajectory. And so what I have identified is that I am in a space where I am perpetually engaging and then disengaging, from artists because I, liken myself to a solid rocket booster. And my job is to get in flight with you, soar with you, course correct, but help you to get into orbit.
Mhm.
And once you have figured that thing out, my job is to break away
Mhm.
and let you continue. After I've been the thrust, now you must thrust and move, propel on your own.
Yeah.
And so I think I've learned that I can't stay anywhere with anyone longer than what God intended. That is for anything from personal relationships or professional relationships.
Mhm.
I've got to know when to release
Yeah.
and trust that the work
Mhm.
is working
Yeah.
and move on to the next assignment.
I love that. Now, I heard you say that you just sold the last one, but
Yes.
if people want to purchase a copy, where do they get it from?
Yes, you can get it from Amazon. You can get it from Barnes and Noble.
Mhm.
You can, I was going to say, email me. No. But there's also the audiobook, which is on Pandora. It's on Amazon and it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
Did you
Okay.
know the audiobook? Did you know the audiobook was out?
I did not. Are you actually speaking there? Are you reading the book?
It is I. It is
Oh,
me.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. Love that. Now, I would be remiss if I did not ask you about your time with Cadillac at ABFF Honors.
Yes.
Of course, award season just wrapped. This year's honorees were Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa, right? Kiki Palmer, Giancarlo Esposito, Ajanou Ellis Taylor, and the Marla Gibbs, in which we sang the whole theme song. It was a really great time.
Good.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
you were a guest of Cadillac during the honors. What was that experience like for you?
Well, let me first say that my dear soror, Juanita Slappy, has always been a champion for the Rose Effect, along with CJ. And
Yes.
so I am grateful to have first the people to
Mhm.
see me and to find alignment in what they do,
Yeah.
but first we align in who we are. And then I'm grateful that our assignments, our professional assignments align as well.
Mhm.
And so we start there, right? We start with a just feeling loved on and appreciated and valued when they send you, a
Mhm.
Cadillac Escalade, when they send you the electric.
Yes, that Cadillac IQ, Cadillac
Already
Escalade
feel.
IQ.
Yes,
Talk
yes,
about it. So you were chauffeured to the event in the
what I'm
yes.
saying.
Okay,
So
talk about it.
I already felt the value
Yeah.
that's placed on and the detail that goes into creating their automobiles and then creating the experience
Mhm.
for the people that they want to enrich
Yeah.
and empower. Because the minute you step in, it is a full, luxurious experience. And so, I mean, you can't help but to then step out
Yeah.
fully charged. And that's what happened. I got out and it was fully charged, and that room was
Mm.
fully charged.
Yeah.
And, my South Side Chicago sister Marla Gibbs,
Mm.
to just hear how she was very clear that she
Mhm.
had something to offer. But in the meantime, she was going to keep working that job
Mhm.
until you guys showed her,
Mhm.
that you believed as much as she believed. That is it. And then my dear soror, Ingenue, who said, look, I'm building my own stuff. I'm not waiting for you. I've already been qualified. I've been in this. My yes didn't come with your yes. My yes has been here. Now
Mhm.
I'll offer you a part of this win, but I'm not winning because of you. I was winning at birth. I mean, come on.
Oh, now?
The
Come
room
on
was
now.
on fire.
The
The
room
room
was
was
on
just
fire.
woo!
It
And so shout
absolutely was.
out to Jeff and Nicole Friday for curating such a beautiful, empowering, life-changing, perspective-changing experience for us all.
Absolutely. Nothing but Black excellence was in the room.
Mhm.
It definitely abounded. I want to talk about all the things. I know you have a hard stop, but I do want to talk about your acting career as well. So you've naturally expanded into acting, including your role on BET The Black Hamptons. You're all over the place and you be looking good on TV too, girl. It takes a lot to look good on TV, y'all. If y'all didn't know, and you
Yes.
I'm just saying. What drew you to the Black Hamptons and what does stepping into a scripted role require? Does it require a different type of energy? And not only the Black Hamptons, the other show that you're on is
Family business,
the
say it.
Family Business. Right. I'm just saying. So let's talk about the difference between a scripted project versus does it require a different type of energy?
Well, first shout out to my ism, my soror, my beta alpha FAMU soror, Nakaya D. Brown, who has always been just that great motivator and encourager.
Mhm.
She is the CEO of Tridestin Studios, the
Ah.
showrunner, all the things.
Mhm.
But most of all, she is my sister, and Trey Haley, the director, and Carl Weber, the writer of all of this, just all of this power that we are seeing now on BET and BET Plus. And so for the family business, I actually started my relationship beyond our friendship, casting for
Yeah.
them, doing a lot of the background and some of the primary roles because I had already been coaching
Mhm.
artists and actors in a school, a class that Dustin Felder started. And it was really about performance direction and really showing up in a character, penetrating the lens. And so that's how we started. Then it just grew from there, you know. I remember, you know, I had always had a desire to act when I lived in New York, right? But I booked commercials, but I wasn't necessarily booking any large Broadway roles.
Mhm.
I remember when I first got here, I met with Devon Franklin and I said, you know, I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing because I do this and da da da. And I'm a performance coach and I also done some modeling and I've done that and I've done some acting. And he said, that's great. But when will people know when to call you? You know, how will they know what you're available for if it's not clear? And I was like, oh. And so I decided to focus on the performance direction because
Mhm.
number one, that was a service that I
Yeah.
offer
Mhm.
um, as opposed to awaiting upon. As a recording artist, it was always based on what somebody else thought.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of shift gears a bit. And I had been at that for over 10 years. And so now being in this position of saying, hey, I've got something to offer your artist, whether that's on Disney, Nickelodeon, whether that's on Columbia, Warner Brothers, wherever that is, like I have something to offer them. And
Mhm.
so once I decided to walk in just the performance direction space,
Mhm.
then completely own it, completely be everything that I could be, bring all of my energy, bring all of my past experiences, that actually opened the door
Love it.
for all the other things I wanted to do. And so
Yeah.
acting became one of them. So shout out to Tridestin Studios for bringing me on to the Black Hamptons and the family business. And I had an acting coach, you know, as well. So coaches, okay?
Coaches be coaches. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to be mindful of your time. I do
Yes,
have so
yes,
many questions, but I do want to talk about the KJ Rose effect as well as confidence con, right?
yes,
So let's start with the KJ Rose effect. Um, all about presence, confidence, owning your own stage. What's
yes.
one quick mindset shift that people can make today to show up more powerfully in their lives?
One quick, okay, I'll give you three quick.
Okay.
Rechampion your story, right? If you're not clear about what your story is, what your narrative is, people will give you their storyline. Okay. Go back into those things that you disqualified, that you left behind. Get all of those wins, all of those stories. You are the only metric for whether they are big or small or validated, but you have to validate them. Don't wait for anybody else. Number two, resurrect your force. What is that thing about you that cannot be negotiated? You know, for me, it's empathy and energy. What is it that helps you navigate through, you know, your life through this industry? That's the intangible thing that will help to guide you to say no to some things, to show up to some things, to push further in some things. It's your force. And lastly, number three, don't be afraid to reimagine you, right?
Mhm.
A lot of times we subscribe to what everybody else thinks about us, right? Even if it's involuntarily, it still penetrates in a way that we begin moving according to what they saw
Yeah.
and what they
Yeah.
believed. But
Mhm.
none of it was what we chose,
Mhm.
right? We just didn't make a decision for ourselves. So, of course, it's easy for someone else's narratives, for someone else's imagination of who we are to become, you know, part of what we do. And so don't be afraid to reimagine you, to recast yourself, all right? To
I
see what's
love
not working and then recharge, renew, refresh, rebuild that thing so that it works for you. If
I
that was
love
good enough.
No, that was amazing. Thank you. I'm sure that will help a lot of people. And sometimes we do need that little piece of advice. Sometimes we do need to kind of understand who we are. Sometimes we do need that clarity. Devon Franklin, thank you so much for sharing. Um,
Yes.
really quickly, Confidence Con. Congratulations on launching
Yes.
that. Is it? What inspired the conference? What is it all about? When can we expect the next one? And how can
Yes.
people register?
Confidence Con was me reimagining myself in real time because yesterday's me, which still counts, but it
Mhm.
was yesterday. was only good for showing up to your event
Mhm.
and being what I needed to be in that space. But I did not know that today's me was capable of creating my own space for other creatives and executives to come and to tap into their own unique and personal star power. And
Mhm.
that's what we do at Confidence Con. It is confidence in motion. Confidence is a verb. What
Mhm.
we do here is make sure that we amplify your presence no matter what stage you are on. I
Yeah.
want to make sure that you push beyond your perceived capacity, right? So it is a training circuit,
Mhm.
where you move and you get new deposits are being made every time you move to a different studio. And so I
Mhm.
bring in experts, to also add value to that. But it is a good time. I bring a concert experience to an environment that is meant to be life changing
Yeah.
so that you leave out of there not just hearing about my stories or that of my guest Erica Campbell, but it should unlock your own.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I want you to leave better than you came. I want you to leave identifying ways that you can clearly show up more for yourself,
Yeah.
embrace your force, and to seize your power, because can't nobody do it for you.
Yeah. Now, what's your ideal target audience member and how do we find more information?
Confidence Con is coming again in September. I will keep you posted so that
Okay.
you can send it out to your people.
Wonderful.
It is for humans.
Yeah.
It's for people,
That's all you have to say.
right? Because I often say, confidence hits people in various ways,
Mhm.
right? Either are taken aback by the word of someone saying, "Are you confident or not?" It can be very daunting and jarring. And
Mhm.
so, what I often say is, I don't give people anything that they don't already possess.
Mhm.
My job is to irritate and agitate a level of potential and confidence that may have just been lying dormant,
Yeah.
right? So the confidence you currently possess,
Mhm.
kudos, great job. It worked for maybe where you were, but it may not work for where you're going. I'm trying to get you prepared for where you're about to land for what God has in store for you. So that's what Confidence Con is about.
Love it. And it's for people. So y'all stay tuned. She'll
Yes.
drop the new date soon and give us all the details. We'll make sure that we push that out to you. Lastly, I started the show with this. You are always so pulled together when you show up to places. You
Okay.
show
Okay.
up. How do you define your style? Right. So 3 words. How do you define your style? You always look so great, so pulled together, and it's a very unique style. So how do you describe it? 3 words.
Well, number one, I'm from Chicago, so I'm always gonna have on J's. So number two, I enjoy texture and symmetry. So
Mhm.
I'm always going to have on something that either is I don't know what's the word to describe my style. It is
Spectacular.
my style. How would I describe my style? There is pizzazz, there
Pizzazz.
is comfort,
Mhm.
and there is Southside. I'm
Oh,
always gonna have on J's, but then I will have on some stilettos. It can transform throughout the day.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how I
Mhm.
start may not be how I end. In my trunk, I can go from the freaking Dodgers game here in LA, or I can go to, you know, the Grammys.
The Grammys. And but you did go to the Grammys. But listen, you are
Yeah.
constantly evolving. What is next for you? Any exciting projects in the pipeline? What can we expect?
What can I expect in the future for the
Mhm.
project?
Yeah, what's next for you? What's next?
What's
Exciting
next?
projects? What's in the pipeline?
I'm going to say this aloud because it will please my writing coach and it will keep me accountable. But I believe that next is a one-woman show that I am preparing for.
Okay.
Additionally, Confidence Con
Mhm.
2.0 is
Mhm.
coming in 2025, September. And we'll see what else God has. He reveals it when he reveals the rest of it. And so,
Love. Congratulations on every and all things that you are doing. You are amazing. Your energy is infectious. And we just want to thank you for your time. We love you. You are a force to be reckoned with. And I am happy to know you. So, how do
Oh,
people get in contact with you, hire you, follow you? And by the way, she's working with the big brands, y'all. So if y'all don't have the big bucks, if you don't have the big
somebody,
budget,
let's talk. Let's talk. There is value in a lot of things. So don't
okay.
count me out. Don't
All
count me
right.
out. Let's
All
talk
right.
about it.
Mhm,
People can contact me through my IG, KJ Rose Effect, through LinkedIn, Kiana KJ Rose Henson,
mhm,
through um email contact@kjrose.com,
mhm.
Facebook, Kiana Henson. And I want to also, I'm ready for my one word. So answer the question again.
Let's go back to the one word, right? So Cadillac IQ was on the scene at the ABFF honors. If you
Yes.
could describe it in one word, what would that one word be?
That one word for my participation in the Cadillac experience would be providential. It was meant to be, it was favor, it was divine, and God makes no mistakes. It was
Providential. There you have it, guys. We love you, KJ. Keep doing the things that you're doing. Keep inspiring. Keep being aspirational because we are still trying to reach where you at. But we definitely love and appreciate you. We will stay in touch and make sure that we're following you on all platforms.
Thank you, Portia. And thank you again also for what you bring. You always have such a delightful spirit. You've always been very sincere and consistent. And I don't think we give those things enough credence, because kindness and being genuine and meaning what you say and not changing and wavering and not wavering in that is also very special. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. It's definitely appreciated.